Here it is, Monday, the 22nd of February, and I'm here in person, although late in the day, but all the same, here we are. So today we're going to talk about I'm upset and it's your doing. So this is about when we give our power away, we lose. And this is something that comes up all the time with the people I work with. And of course, it's natural to want to look outside of ourselves versus inside ourselves for what's causing us unease or dissatisfaction or annoyance or whatever it might be. So today, I thought I would just hop on and have a little bit of time to talk about this. And one of the places that people go is that everything would be just fine if only just a few things were different or happening differently. And I used to always say, I used to believe that if one thing was wrong in my whole life was wrong. There was like everything was traumatic. And, today it's like I can have something not working right in my life. And yet that doesn't mean that my life is not working. It means that I have a piece of my life that isn't perhaps going the way I would like it to. And furthermore, I need to look inside as to why that is, not outside, because the answer is not outside. And dang, it would be so much easier if it were outside and we could put the blame over there instead of in here. But that's not what I experience in life. I find that if things are making me upset, then I really have an outside mindset. And I'm allowing things outside of myself to dictate how I feel versus, an inside mindset, which is really an ownership mindset. So if I am operating from a place of power, then I know that I can actually I don't want to say direct, but I can actually have a fairly peaceful life because I know I'm actually the person that manages my feelings. Doesn't mean that I don't ever feel lousy. Doesn't mean that I don't ever dislike what other people do. But ultimately, I either um, tolerate it or accept it or whatever, but nobody can make me feel anything. And when we have an outside mindset, when we're looking at I'm upset because you, or I'm upset because people, or I'm upset because my kids, or I'm upset because I don't make enough money, or I'm upset because my partner's late, or I'm upset because my partner doesn't phone me. Like it doesn't really matter. I'm giving all my power to whatever I'm upset about because the truth is, none of those things can actually make me feel anything. And this is referred to as the I'm upset philosophy. And it is an absolute victim stance. So, not a place that most of us would want to admit that we stand in. And yet, I can't tell you how often in the past, I would say, um, I'm upset because, or they made me feel, or I often hear with people I work with, my boss makes me feel. And, the first thing we need to clarify is that nobody can make us feel anything. We choose how we feel based on how we're thinking, for one thing. And so my inner disturbance is always caused by something that is not settled within. And to focus outside is um, to stay where I am. If I continue to look outside of myself, nothing will change. If I'm have an inner disturbance, then I need to look within. And no inner work equals no peace. But it's frustrating because we are very conditioned as we grow up and throughout life. And when you listen to other people and you get into their story, it's so often about what's outside of ourselves. And it's such a victim place to live and and a place of powerlessness and not where you want to be if you want to have a thriving, satisfying, productive, happy being. An existence on this planet is short lived to begin with. So, um, to recognize that each of us have the ability to manage those feelings by looking within, by owning what's going on for us, then the gifts are endless. But when we spend our lives being pessimistic and thinking that everything outside of us dictates how we live our lives, we're in for a rough existence and an unpleasant and an unhappy way of living. So, my own experience, which is all I have, um, is that that doesn't work. And I've certainly lived there. And, like there's no perfect family, there's no perfect parents, there's no perfect partner. I'm not perfect. Why on earth would I think that other people are perfect? And, I often say to people, there's a great gift in realizing that, none of us walk on water. And so the more I'm in judgment of others, the more I'm putting focus out there, the less satisfaction I'm going to have in my own inner life. And it just doesn't work. But I don't know what it takes for any of us to recognize that. Like to come to a place in your life where you're ready to look within. Or as some of the people I work with say, when you've had enough and you've really had enough, then you're probably willing to look at what's, bugging you or holding you back or, you know, pissing you off, whatever it may be. And when you get to that place, maybe, you have the courage to look within, and that's when things will shift. That's been my life, and it's been a constant journey of recognizing that my perspective isn't always very open. And what I know today, hey, there's Teresa. I can see you, Teresa. Yay! How are you? I don't know how to answer you yet, but I can see you today. So this is progress, Teresa. Let's see here. Ah, there you are. Have I ever heard of the book Loving What is by Byron Katie? I don't know if I don't think I've read that book, but I certainly know Byron Katie. And yes, she's very, very popular in my world, like my business world, and certainly has lots to offer all of us. So yes, that's great. I'm so excited because I can see you. And now we can be connected while I'm online. Feel like we've made great progress today. Not me, because it's like I haven't been able to figure this thing out. Anyways, yes, I've read her book, and you and I'll have to talk someday because there's probably lots of books if you like her stuff. Lots of books that I have that you might like, and that would be awesome. So, um, today I just really did want to just jump online and just have a brief conversation around the I'm upset philosophy and looking outside of ourselves for the solution. And, the message is the solution is inside, it's not outside. And knowing that and living that are two different things. We can know lots of things, we can have lots of intellectual knowledge, but living what we know is taking action on what we know. And there's a big difference. Like lots of people want something, but they don't want to put it into action. And knowing that blaming external forces isn't going to make me happy, isn't going to make my life better, isn't enough. I have to actually change how I'm showing up in my world and operate differently. So, on that note, I am going to sign off for today. And I made it today. So, we're back on track. And I'll see you tomorrow. Bye, Teresa. Thanks for joining. Talk to you tomorrow.